Okay, it is Sunday, June 16th, 2024. This is going to be fairly short because there's not a lot of kind of frontline or military news to talk about. Most of it was political, and that'll go to the daily brief tonight. 1,160 Russians off the battlefield, zero tanks. Look at that. Six armored combat vehicles, 58 artillery pieces, 56 vehicles, and fuel tanks. I'm still looking for the planes to be updated from the attack 2 days ago. So we're still waiting, and we'll see that sometime soon. In the meantime, Andrew Perpetua put out this video of a thermobaric bomb going off in Lyman. At dawn today, the enemy struck the residential sector of Lyman, residential, where people are, not where military is. Three houses caught fire. Rescuers arrived and extinguished the fires, but wow, some devastation. Russian soldier says the army is suffering heavy losses in the Kharkiv direction. This gels with everything that I understand about what is going on in Kharkiv and around Kharkiv. Remember, when they first attacked Kharkiv, it was really lopsided. Russians were just pouring in, and now Anton Andreev, one of the soldiers, says only 12 out of 100 soldiers remained alive after unit came under Ukrainian fire and drones in Vovchansk. Vovchansk was partially taken over, and it was partially reclaimed as well. Anton Andreev, a Russian soldier from the 5th Company of the 1009th, said that only 12 out of 100 soldiers still alive as they came under constant Ukrainian fire and drones in Vovchansk. They just chop us up. We were sent under machine guns, under drones, in daylight like meat, and commanders just shout, "Forward, forward," like they don't have any other thing to do other than shout, "Forward, forward." And they don't particularly care if these men come back or not. They just want to achieve a victory. Despite the mass casualties, however, overall support for the war in Russia remains high, driven partly by nonstop state propaganda and a lack of alternative viewpoints. And this is what you would expect in an authoritarian system. There's only one way of being able to see it and no way to self-correct. So don't hold your breath if you're waiting for the Russian people to rise up and overthrow Putin. That's not going to happen. Meanwhile, the AZOV commander congratulates his soldier on the U.S. lifting the ban on the transfer of weapons, and he didn't say it here, but in another place he said something like, "Now we'll see. Now the world will see what the brave Azov soldiers can do with the best American weapons," and that's where we are right now. I'd like to congratulate all the soldiers of the 12th Special Forces Brigade Azov and the entire civilized world on the victory over Russian propaganda. And that's what it really was, a victory over propaganda that had kept them from having the weapons that they could have used to hold out against Russians a lot longer, like in Mariupol. 80 countries backed Ukraine's territorial integrity at a Swiss peace summit. All the news today was about that. Well, not all the news. Almost all the news was about this, and we'll talk about this tonight in a greater way in the three big stories, because this was the big story. It may be the one big story tonight or the two big stories, because this was huge. But for right now, I'm going to punt. It is Father's Day, and I saw this headline: "Know how loved you were. Fathers write to their children from the front line." Can you imagine what that'd be like, knowing that, look, I might not be coming back. I want you to know, here, son, here, daughter, um, happy Father's Day to all of you, but particularly today, if you're a praying person, pray for the fathers that are on the front line in Ukraine. Last little bit, I'm going to leave you just a little comparison of how many countries since the breakup of the Soviet Union Ukraine has invaded and how many Russia has invaded. Just leave you with that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.